Hello, hello. It's time for episode 14 here at the Learn Flute podcast. I'm Rebecca and I can't wait to teach you something new.
Learning to play the flute will put you in a good mood for the rest of the day because the flute is the most cool, the most fun, the most beautiful of all instruments in the whole world. We're here to tell you you can do it, and Rebecca will show you how, step by step all along the way. She's a curly-headed blonde with a talent for teaching. Introducing the Learn Flute podcast. Take it away, Rebecca.
Well, welcome to this episode. I've been having a good time lining up the future shows for this Learn Flute podcast, which is companion to my learnfluteonline.com website, because I know that you people out there in flute learning land are going to get so much value from it. Now, today we're going to be exploring more ideas to help you breathe more easy while playing the flute. Now, as I've said before, breathing isn't exactly the most natural skill for we humans when we're learning how to play the flute. I always find it funny to say that out loud since, of course, we've all been breathing since the very day we were born, right? I'm always just surprised at the funny things that we do as we try to make those notes and phrases last longer. Now, here's what I mean. I'm sure you can relate. When you're first learning how to play the flute, it's super difficult to not just spray all of your airstream all over the room. It's kind of tricky to learn to capture just the right amount and at the right angle, I might add, into that little tone hole. So what ends up happening is you end up using it all of your air up within the first half of a second or so, and then there's no more for the next note. So you have to take a breath and start it all over again. And this happens repeatedly until you're pretty darn dizzy and ready to cash it in for the day, right? Yeah, I know I'm right, and that's why I thought I'd let you in on another one of my little secrets. Now, about 15 years ago, I set out to learn to become a runner. Now, I have to say that I'm not exactly a natural at distance running. In fact, it has been and probably always will be a struggle for me, and that's because I have a little issue with my lungs. They tend to be weak and get weak really fast. I have a lot of seasonal allergies, and I even get asthma when I laugh too hard, so I've had to learn to adapt and find out what works best for my body over the years. Now, this is important to know because the day I decided to become I would say, quote, recreational runner was the day that I changed the life of my lungs. Everything, absolutely everything started to change. First of all, I had a lot of burning of the lung moments, and I had to learn to slow down to a manageable pace, or I was going to croak from an exploded heart or lungs. Now, as I did this, slowing down to a pace that I could handle, I was able to start training and go on faster spurts where I breathed a lot harder. And then I would take it down a notch back to my comfortable land. Now, it didn't take me very long to start noticing a difference in my flute playing as well. Of course, even my running had a drastic improvement, but I'm absolutely totally serious about this. I could tell that my lungs seemed bigger and more pliable. Now, when I went to take in a big breath to play my flute, I noticed that I was able to take in more air than I could before, and my tone became even more resonant, and it was really quite an eye-opening experience for me. Now, I've been one of these on and off runners for many years now, and I want to tell you that it does make a difference in my playing abilities when I'm running regularly and putting those faster spurts into my training. My tone is much more clear and much more resonant, and I can last a lot longer for especially those long slurred passages. Now, during the times that I'm not running as much, or if I'm kind of stuck on a plateau of slogging, that's my word for slow jogging, I do notice a decrease in these things as well. I tend to have more bad tone days, and the long phrases really do get the best of me. So, I don't know, is this something that you've ever thought of before? I know that I've been told, and I've noticed it in my younger students also, that the swimmers of this world seem to be naturals at that whole breathing subject. And all that exercise probably just stretches out the lungs a little larger than normal everyday breathing. So it only seems like common sense that this would increase our lung capacity. Now, not everyone can or wants to be a runner or a swimmer, but since we have to use our human body to operate this instrument, I think it's important to notice that there are things that we can do to increase our efficiency and make things even easier on ourselves. Now, I think every person on this planet would enjoy having an easier time every day, don't you think? Definitely food for thought today, If you have any experience with exercise and flute playing, I would like to hear from you. Just hop on over to the show notes at learnfluteonline.com/ and then the number 014 because this is episode 14. I guess I should explain that the extra 0 before the number is there because I wanted everything to line up correctly as I added more and more episodes to this show. I have over 50 recordings and subjects already lined up for this year, and I plan on reaching the triple digits pretty quickly. So I decided to just start the numbers with 3 digits right from the beginning. I guess running a business like this has sparked a lot of pre-thinking on my part, as I've learned so much in hindsight also. Well, that's it for today. I hope this was a fun little subject for you to think about. I, like you, love to listen to podcasts as I'm working on other things or even out for a run especially. I find it really convenient to have these podcasts all queued up and ready for me to consume, and I hope you do too. If this podcast is something you enjoy and are getting some value from, I would appreciate it if you'd show your love by leaving a rating and a comment. This helps iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening. This helps keep the show live and up on the charts for you. Now, I wanted to let you know that I am proud of you and your efforts in making music, which makes our world even more beautiful. See you next time.
Thanks for listening today. Remember that this is where people of all ages, such as you, can come, learn, and play the musical instrument flute in an easy-to-follow, organized manner, and in the privacy and comfort of your own home, on your own schedule.